So the Russians have taken 5 huge blows today. And when I mean huge blows, I mean the hits just keep coming. Sometimes it feels like feast or famine, like there's way too much news or there's not enough news. And today's one of those too much news. In fact, all month, like the daily brief that's been this oil refinery, those airplanes, this other factory, and today it's a bunch of these things simultaneously. Okay, so first, fires at the Syzran oil refinery are continuing at several places. So again, oil refineries, they keep going after them. I've shown you just a couple days ago why oil was so important and what's going on with that. The refining capacity is 8.5 million tons of oil per year, 170,000 barrels per day. Yesterday, I was showing you that they hit a refinery that was 5.6% of Russia's oil refinery capacity, and that was on top of the 14 point something percent that they already had. Now, so somebody said, so 20% of their oil refinery refining capability is gone? No, that's not exactly right. They attacked these refineries that have that much capacity. If they eliminated those refineries, that would be correct. But we don't know exactly how much damage was in this. Like the one yesterday was a lot of damage. Okay, this is the 8th Russian oil refinery to suffer major damage this month. That's what I mean. The hits keep coming. It's only August 15th as I'm speaking. Meanwhile, a Russian woman notes that the state media blackout on burning Russian oil refineries. What's the Kremlin afraid of? Okay, so she's taking a picture of the oil refineries burning in the distance and looking at her TV. And on her TV, there's really like nothing about it. Now, that doesn't mean that just because she's watching this TV, that's what it, but it does strike me that they're not really playing up the issue of oil refineries. That's not the kind of thing that they want to expose. Okay, where was this next thing hit? Ukrainian General Staff reports that a UAV struck the Russian freighter Olya-4, the Olya port, Astrakhan region in Russia. The vessel was transporting components and ammunition for Shahed drones from Iran. And so this is over here on the Caspian Sea, and that ship's not supposed to look like that. Like here's a picture of the ship in happier times. And according to the General Staff, the Ukrainian Special Operations Forces struck this. The port was used as a key logistics hub for military supplies from Iran. Preliminary reports indicate that the vessel located in port for Olya 4, loaded with Shahed UAV components and ammunition from Iran, was hit, and the damage assessment is ongoing. But yeah, it wasn't supposed to be listing as it was. Okay, next big thing. Drone strike hits occupied Yenakivi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I've never seen that name before. In Donetsk region yesterday evening, local footage captured the explosions and the fire. And then we saw this, a $50 million Russian SU-30 SM fighter jet reportedly crashed near Zimny Island with wreckage found, but no trace of the pilots. Ukrainian intel says the contact was lost mid-mission for unknown reasons. That was not something where the Ukrainians actually took it down or anything. It just, as far as we know, just something went wrong. Like maybe they weren't able to keep it up, or maybe it was just technical error. Nonetheless, there is one less SU-30 in the air. Okay, footage of Russia's JSC Elastic gunpowder plant is literally going up in smoke. I'm not being funny or making that up. I'm just, suffering massive catastrophic explosion this morning. And again, we don't know whether that was what exactly was the cause. Massive explosion rocked the elastic plant in Russia's Ryazan region, blowing up the gunpowder workshop. Local reports say at least 3 people were killed and 20 injured. But again, was that just carelessness? I mean, that could have been a careless cigarette, but it could also be drones or sabotage or whatever. But nonetheless, all these things, just like the plane going up, or plane going down, I guess, just like the plane, it doesn't matter. It's off the table now. Okay, so there was like hit after hit after hit after hit. And it's just looking really bad for Russia at this point. Okay, overnight, August 15th, Russia launched 97 Shahed decoy drones and 2 Iskander-M missiles. Ukrainian defenses downed or suppressed 63 drones and missiles, and 38 drones hit 13 locations. Missiles and drones hit 13 locations. So the record's not really good. I mean, this is like a third of them still got through. And it was 99, so that's higher than normal. Honestly, if I was a betting man, I would have bet the night before this summit with Putin and Trump that you would have seen more than this. But they're saving up for some kind of rainy day. Okay, Warzone reports citing U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency estimates that Russia has upgraded its Iskander and KN-23 missiles, making Patriot air defense systems less effective. The missiles are now said to carry radar decoys and can fly in quasi-ballistic trajectories, combining ballistic missile flight with maneuvering to complicate interception. The Ukrainians have a really hard time knocking down ballistic missiles. They seem to be much better at hitting cruise missiles, but now something's changed with that. Okay, on the battlefield, 940 Russians off the battlefield, 2 tanks, 3 armored fighting vehicles, 40 artillery systems, 140 vehicles and fuel tanks. That's something. This number here has been very, very high, although the casualties have been under 1,000 for the last couple of days. When you look at Ragnar Gudmundsson's dashboard, you see engagements and casualties are slightly below the 7-day average. If we look at what was going on the battlefield, we see, like, for example, in Pokrovsk defenders, and now here they're putting together all the areas, 42 attacks on all these regions, including Pokrovsk. It looks like Pokrovsk has been stabilized. Everything that I can see says that it was in a very bad shape, not Pokrovsk, but the outside around it. Ukrainian Marines flush out Russians from moldy cellars to save Pokrovsk. Marines fight room to room in a coal village, shielding Pokrovsk from eastern encirclement. It was really the eastern side. Here are the bunny rabbit looking ears. This area, as the Russians were pushing in, and they brought in Azov, the first Azov, and they just kind of wiped these guys out. There's a difference between hardened, seasoned fighters and just general conscripts. Okay. Another Russian howitzer joined the scrap metal army after meeting with an FPV drone. And again, it's fascinating seeing what FPVs can do. Not just here, but here's what they're doing. A fiber optic FPV drone probes a Russian position from the inside and strikes at hiding infantry. Again, we're looking at the future even now as we're seeing this kind of thing. Okay. Today is it's VJ Day for the millions of families gathered around their wireless sets and for their loved ones still serving far from home. It was the message the battle-weary world had long prayed for. The war is over. This morning, as we mark the 80th anniversary of VJ Day, the King, that's in Britain, has delivered an audio message to mark the historic occasion. I'm just sharing this because in the United States, we're preoccupied with the Trump-Putin meeting. So, yeah. Okay. Last little bit here. Dad, a Ukrainian defender was held in Russian captivity for 1,207 days. Today, he met his son for the first time after returning from captivity. Truly heart-wrenching. Yeah. Kid gets to meet his dad for the first time. All right, my friends, thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the subscribes. And thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.